Welcome back to Railroads Online. I am River, and I am sitting down here by the smelter because I had just dropped off 50 more coal. And then I was sitting down here doing some calculating on what we need to do and what's the best next step to take. So we now have 68 and what was that, 64 of the coal. So that's, basically another 64 effectively that we can make. We have 100 tools over here. Yep. And over here, I think we have like 86 steel pipes. So if you combine 64 with 86, you get 150. And I was thinking that we needed 150 steel pipes. I don't know. I know we're getting double the amount of... We get 2 barrels of oil for every one delivery. But that still means if we're making 200 barrels, we still need 100 steel pipes for that, right? So we're definitely going to be short of stuff. In addition, we need to get, and I haven't really checked, I'm pretty sure we get 1-to-1 on the crude oil. So we're going to probably need a bunch more steel pipes and stuff like that, but we're going to plug ahead because if I wanted to bring down like another load of coal, for example, I don't really have the room. So I need to get some of these tools out of here. We can only get so many tools over to the crude oil. We can get 100. Now, the thing that we can take, we can take the 100 tools over and drop them, and then it gets even more tricky because when it comes to the steel pipes and the beams, remember we have to take over kind of the right consist at that point. So we have these cars that I have forgotten that we even had here in all my other running around. I mean, I didn't totally forget, but it's like, oh, that's right. So, see, this combination would be good to get pipes and beams. Now, the other problem I have is that our beams, we now only have, up at the sawmill, we only have 5 beams and 100 boards. So I think I'm just going to have to take this one step at a time because I'm sure you could work out the very best way to do it. I think that what we're going to end up doing is heading back up there, going all the way back up to the, the smelter, so that I can drop these cars back off. They don't need to be down here until we go to get more coal to bring it down here, or of course we may need to get iron and whatnot up there. But I need to get rid of some of that lumber in order to go get more beams. So what I'm thinking of doing is driving back up, dropping these off the smelter where I left my flat cars, get my flat cars, bring it down to the sawmill. From the sawmill, go to the freight depot. Let's take a look here, right? So we're all the way down here by the ironworks. Go all the way up to the smelter, get those, switch cars, drop these off where we'll need them. Go from the smelter to the sawmill, pick up a bunch of lumber, then go to the freight depot. Now, we also might pick up some more cars, right? We should have a total of 18 cars up north of those stake body cars for the lumber. So I might pick those up because then I could do 50 at a shot, and I could basically just empty out the entire 51, I guess it is. I could empty out all of the lumber. Now, I don't know if that's a smart thing to do, but I know I need 100 beams, so I don't mind the idea of emptying out pretty much all of the lumber, and then I'll take all the beams, and then I'll have all of that, right? So on top of that, I think that I'm going to need to get more iron and all because I think I need more steel pipe. So it's sort of like I have to do another little mini run of everything we've done so far in order to get more. But I think let's just let the numbers work out for themselves. We could do more. My calculating's already kind of led me astray a little bit. Not that I think it's cost me anything at this point. Let's put some more fire in here. I had, but I was talking too long. All right. So I'm gonna head back up. Now I don't know how much of this you guys want to see because it's just gonna be. There we go. So we should be full of fire. It'd be a bit repetitive on these trips back and forth. But there we go. So we got our brake off. We didn't flip the flipper, so I need to flip the flipper when we get around here. Now that we're moving, we'll just keep going. So is there anything else we could drag up there? I guess. The steel pipes come from here, so we don't need to drag up any of those other Tier 1 flat cars. we got enough of the other ones. I mean, 18 is, and I think I might just hook up 17 to be honest, because that'll be 51. We don't need 54. There's no benefit. Get all that lumber taken over, and then the question would be, do we come back down here with a load of beams? And again, we're going to do a 18 at a time. So would we come down with all 18 cars full of beams, which would be 54 beams, and then we could go and get, how many of these tier 1 flat cars do we have over here? Try to think ahead of this stuff a little bit. Let's just see as we get by. I guess we don't need to go 0, do we? Everybody coming along just fine. I did restart. Everybody's following us. Most of the time the links do seem to work if you're not on a hill. Yeah, so we only have 3 of the tier 1 flat cars plus another 2, so 5. Where if we bring 18 down, because we get 9 steel pipes per flat car. So then if we bring 18 cars of beams, we would want 6 cars of this, because we need 2 to 6 to balance out the 18. All right, so we'd have 3 sets of 6, and then we need 3 sets of 2. And then we, as far as these extra cars go here, I'm not sure that we would even really use those, would we? We could use them somewhere. They're not that expensive, but I don't even know how much money we have. We need to stop. Let's check our money. Now, the other thought I had is with the tools. I don't know if it's worth getting any more tool cars. We can already, they carry so many as it is that it's not a huge deal. I stopped a little bit short. I did just fill up with water as well. So in other words, we can carry 64 at a shot. That's quite a few. So I don't think we need more of that. Now, as far as the oil goes, that's 12 per car. I definitely think we could use more oil cars. So how are we doing on money? See, we have 6,000. So I think this 6,000 would be best spent on getting our ideal situation down here going. And I'm assuming that a lot of this stuff is going to be repeated as we try to keep our production up, right? If we were to keep trying to do this, we're going to run into the same kind of issues where we have to take these cars back. Definitely over time, I could see us doing 100 of these at a shot. If you were, or I should say 10 of these cars where you'd get 100 coal at a shot. Since we're kind of done for the moment, I don't think I'm going to do that, but it's certainly on the list. All right, so let me meet you up by the smelter. And once I get up there, we'll rehook up to the cars, and then we'll talk about... Actually, do we want to go... No, I don't want to drag those 5 down this way. I'll go back. There's 5 or 6 cars, however many cars we left in the grand rail siding, and I want to pick those up. But I think I'm better off doing it after I drop these off for a couple reasons. One, all my switches are good to go, at least up to by the smelter. And then secondly, there's no reason to drag them up and back again. All right, I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Okay, here we are at the smelter, or close to it. And I just threw the switches. I think we're ready to move forward again. We were running low on fire. We didn't run out, but threw a little extra firewood so we'd have a bit to do the yard work and not run out. So I don't know that it matters too much which way we pull in, but I'm going to pull in straight and then just drop these right off, and then we'll loop all the way around and then back in, pick up these other cars. Again, I don't think it makes... Because everything's a loop, it really doesn't make too much difference. But this does have me thinking, if we were going to increase this to 10 cars, it would really be nice to be able to leave these very easily here. So I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to expand this, how far this bypass is by where the by where we're actually dropping off the stuff, we might have to get into maybe being able to leave these at a yard over here. Where we would pull forward, back in, we'd leave this over here, and then continue on our way. Now, we also had the Grand Rail siding. Like, we could have dropped this stuff off first. I don't really want to have to pull into the Grand Rail siding twice, but you'll see, I don't think there's any way we're going to get 10 cars and to be able to leave them right here. Now, again, it's not necessary that we leave them right here, but if you look, that turn is pretty tight. We could possibly go straight off that turn and have it turn into here, but that's going to be tough. Doesn't mean we can't do it. It's just not going to be easy. Let's just put on the brakes hard right now. Right, that would be, we could probably squeeze it a little bit tighter, right? Let's get out real quick and take a look. Yeah, I mean, we might be able to fit 10 cars in there, huh? I think it's worth a shot, actually. We might have to leave them jammed up all the way up here, because we could actually push that a little bit further back, like, you know, another whole half a car length. But since these are going to be sitting here for at least a little while, I'm going to do my jam it up thing so we don't lose them. Though I really don't know that that's necessary when we're not on a hill, but we'll just give it a little squeeze and then set the brake. That should be good. All right, so let's disconnect that guy. Go get our other cars. We need to flip these switches. Maybe I'll pause it. I don't know if you guys want to see me flipping switches. It takes a while. When I've watched it in past videos, it's like, you know, it doesn't feel that long, but when you're watching the video, I noticed that, you know, it feels like quite a while. So we don't, everything looks good there. In other words, I want to leave this so we can drive right around on our way back in. And then same thing with the opposite, so we're not trying to go into that. Do we have to flip any? Well, we're going to have to flip the flipper, because we're going to come back out the opposite way we went in. I have to watch out, because I have to pull awful close to the flipper to be able to get these rail cars here. So yeah, I think we could actually fit 10 in there. I think it's going to be tight, but that would be nice, because then I could haul 100 iron, and that would be a nice half the trips, right? And there's no reason we can't build up more iron and coal up in the iron and coal area. That hill definitely messes you up, if nothing else, for you're trying to go around that turn slow. Messed me up anyway. See, I put in this switch right here to go into that logging, but I think that we could easily have another. I'll show you as we come up here, for those of you who didn't see me build it. We could easily have another switch off of here that could turn this into a rail siding where we could store some of those cars. See that? So we have to be careful about getting too close to that flipper. The flipper is the first one that's right underneath the thing. Right, so it's turned the wrong way. I'm not sure if we can even fit. We have to get past this switch in order to be able. Yeah, we're going to fit. Okay. Yeah, we're going to fit. Super duper easy. All right, so let's go flip this before I end up derailing myself on the way back out, which. There we go. Yeah, so we should be flipping those other ones too. Huh? That one's the one I always forget. But if we want to pull back in and go right around, now, are we going to want to? Yeah, probably. I mean, the next trip that we would take up here, just in a normal cycle, and I'm not saying we're in a normal cycle because I think I have to redo more. I think I may have to get, if we take a look here, I have 48 rails. And so those rails would make 48 more coal, and I have 4 coal up there. So it's sort of like if we needed 50 more coal to make 50 more steel pipes, I'm barely there. Now, fortunately, we do have 54 iron here, so that's a pretty good thing. That's just enough. I don't know how much I need to cut it. I'm trying to, see what the trials and tribulations of making 200 barrels of oil is, but there we go. Don't go too fast. You want to try to let the brake settle so it doesn't push it further away. Give it a little break. That should be good. Yeah, now where did our link go? You guys just saw me. Yeah, this. Alright, so the link disappeared. I definitely pulled that out like I always do, and just the link is now gone. I don't know if I pulled far enough. All right, now we got a link. Yeah, the links are certainly something that needs work a little bit, I think. And I don't necessarily even mean whether they should be. Look at that, we're in this pattern. We're just oscillating. Come on. Yeah, that's it. And I think that has to do, at least in part, with the links. So as soon as we get over that hurdle, we're fine, right? But somehow it gets us in that oscillation. There we go. So that's connected. So this should be 13 cars. And I do want to check. I think I might have set the last 2 cars brakes. No. All right, there we go. So now I'm going to put a link in here. When we get there, oops, stop moving. Yeah, look how much that moved after I. All right, so let's see if that link is there when we get down to the other thing. I didn't do anything funny during the videos. All right, so let me pause it here. I'm going to take these trains, just pull them straight on out and all the way down to kind of the way we were coming. Then we're going to back into our rail siding, the grand rail siding. But I need to flip these switches. Like this one's bypassing this. I don't want to bypass this. Right, I'll drive right through here, and then that other one will do that, and then I'll drive down there, and we'll get hooked up, and we'll start hauling some lumber to get that sold. I've found 30 through here is a very nice and comfortable speed. I've gone through faster, but yeah, we'll see. Now, part of the reason I'm doing all of this and not just selling these off is I want to see how we make out in our old tracks with 17 cars, right? Definitely 17 is a good number. So what I want to do is pull all the way past. We'll flip this switch. We'll probably have to flip this one. These should actually be the only cars I've been really switching this much for all the grand rail siding is these cars here. So certainly I think that might have been a little bit of overkill on the grand rail siding, but it was fun and a good experiment on how to do things, right? At some point we probably will become so flushed with money we might have separate trains for all the trips. Who the heck knows? Even this is going to give us a fair chunk of change. I don't know, what's it, $10 a car? Or I'm sorry, $10 for the logs. So that's quite a bit when you consider. Let's see, we'll have 50, so that's going to be 500 a shot. That'll be another 1,000 just for getting rid of excess stuff. And I definitely, this is definitely the right move, because then when we come back, we're going to be taking a bunch of beams, which will, start causing the whole lumber problem to happen again. I think. Oh, break. Please. Went too far. Going the wrong way. Like I said, I think we're going to be good other than these 2 switches, but I should check. I want to see how this all works out. Now, when we get in there, we'll have to flip these back to go the other way, which is fine. So head in here. And other than that, like maybe being a little bit over designed at the moment, this has been working out really well. I think you've seen a lot of the times I've come in here and out. It's not like I've used it too much when you guys weren't watching, but it certainly has been nice. Let's just peek around the corner after we flip this one. Oh, by the way, there's this level right here goes all the way over to the logging camp. So it's certainly possible to cut off the logging camp right from this spot right here. I don't know how easy it would be to get another switch in here to go there, but I'm not sure if we're going to do that. The only real argument would be for cordwood, and a lot of my cordwood thinking has changed. All right, so yeah, we're good. We want to go into this first one, which is right there. Or second one, depending on how you look at that. First siding, the other one's the turntable that we haven't really used much. So yeah, throwing these switches, I guess we can cut through the woods a little bit. We're sort of way up here. Does not make for the most exciting YouTube. Geez, that's longer than I thought. Further away than I thought. Part of it is my fine train driving skills, hitting the gas instead of the brake. Got us a little further than we needed. It's hard to judge anyway. And I have found that you're kind of better off like going too far than not far enough. Getting all the way back there with these long trains and going, I just had to, got to run all the way back up to the front because I didn't pull it forward 10 feet extra. All right, let's see how we do here. We still got a little bit of fire left. Got the heat, even if we don't have the... Yeah, here we go with this again. Come on. There must be some kind of math equation that's going on. Like it's not releasing, like if you stop a regular train on a flat, it's going to find its own equilibrium in physics and basically go to like a zero state potentially. I mean, there could be some situations like on a hill where things would end up loaded, but it's like this, in other words, it's like these links are staying loaded is what it feels like, or I doubt it's in the wheels. I think the wheels, for the most part, just provide friction. If you were going to start modeling the mathematics or the physics of this, you would worry about the friction with the wheels and each car having the, I don't know whether you do individual cars or each car. Certainly would do each one of the trucks, the sets of wheels. I think you would do each of those separately as far as the friction goes. But then the tricky part, I could definitely see where that would be hard, is to say, each car needs to pull on the other one, and that all has to happen through the physics of that link. All right, how does one car know to follow the next car? You could do something where you just mathematically say, well, keep this distance, but that's obviously not right. And then you can also see where they have it where it's super stretched out. So there's definitely a lot of dynamic physics happening with these links that are, at least in part, I think, responsible for some of the issues we're having with things like this go. And then probably, I bet you it even contributes to the derailing. I've been slightly disappointed at the rate at which they're putting out new content. Now, I think they've been fixing bugs, and I don't, who knows? They could have a whole another version that's got 10 tons of content. I'm not accusing them of anything as far as that they're not working on it. I'm not trying to say they aren't, just because I understand they could be working on whole new sections that we just don't see in the live game. And I haven't really been following the Discord or anything to have the latest and greatest information for you. I just think this is cool. I really do hope they keep going with it, because this is just, to me, the building the tracks and it's my own system. I mean, Derail Valley is nice, but it doesn't really even have this level of economy, which was one of my complaints about Derail Valley, and I heard other people kind of say the same thing, and that just wasn't in their vision, you could say, you know. Did I hit that too hard? I don't know, but let's go see if we have that link. All right, I didn't do anything between here and there during the pause to do anything, but, you know, we should have a link in there. And then the other thing we're going to want to do is disconnect that last car. No sense of dragging that around. So it's hard to even see them. I think it should be right here, right? Yeah, no, we still have the link in there. Right, is this where I set 2 cars? No. So we'll just check all these. Yeah, this is, remember I said I thought I set both of the end cars? This was the one. All right, so I want to do the same thing, right? I pulled the link out of the back car. That link should be there. And I'm wondering, I say I didn't even reboot or anything. There was really no reason not to have that link. Okay, now what we need to do is when we come back out of here, I need to flip that switch, but I really need to get us back. Let's start over here. All right, it doesn't matter which way we go in, and we should be set up to go get lumber. This one's not set up. Right, I don't care which way we go in with the flipper there. We do need to go into there, so we'll need to flip this one. This one's already right. I just got done saying I wasn't going to do this, but I do want to see how, like, I want to see you guys to see exactly how this whole trip goes with the 18 or 17 cars. All right, so yeah, then we're going to have to flip these next 2. Then we should be good to go. Now, should we flip? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go up and flip that other one. Even though this one's not flipped, the chances of me backing in or coming out and going that way are pretty slim at this point. I would have to be going back into that rail siding for some reason, then come back out this way, which I think there's like a 80% chance I'm just going to want this one flipped to go straight in the future. I'm going to do it now. I find that for me, flipping them ahead of time is usually better. Though you have to watch that, because I think you can spend some time, you know, wasted time. Like if I don't need to flip that one, but then on the other hand, if I didn't flip it, then it's that much more running around in the future. All right, so this one needs to get flipped, and then we're good to go, because these wouldn't have changed. Hopefully I didn't forget to put, I think we should have enough fire in there, right? At least to get pulled over. And I guess I'll load this. It's going to take a while to load this thing up. 3 at a time, pulling forward inch by inch. Yeah, let's give it a little more. Kind of caught it just in the nick of time. Give it 5 more. All right, so we didn't lose any heat. Oh, not reverse. Sorry. Let's go forward. Let's make sure everybody's coming with us. Did we turn off? All right. I forget, did I look? Yeah. Now, I did, by the way, put this brake on here. Somebody recommended that I put it on like 4 or 7%. I don't know, some low amount. I haven't really seen an issue. I haven't derailed, but I don't think I was really in particular, I don't think I was in much of a situation. And I did come back down with the load of coal while that was set. There we go, leaving all but one. That's what we wanted to see. Good. So in other words, I'm not so sure that I would have derailed anyway, that it saved anything. I certainly still bounced around a fair amount. I guess I could put more brake on, but I feel like at some point you're kind of putting a lot of brake on. I'm not sure that that matters too much in real life, or in the game anyway. In real life, I don't know that you'd want to do that too often. Just be wearing out your brakes. It would be interesting if they added that kind of maintenance. They talk about being realistic, and maintenance on steel parts is definitely a thing. Yeah, let's just see. I don't know how this is about to go. I don't have a lot of faith. I really truly don't have a lot of faith. I think we may be seeing an upcoming, let's build the better rails segment in our future. Hopefully my frustration and sighing is held to a minimum. Yeah, now the only other negative thing about flipping this one was a little bit, it's like chances are I'm going to have to flip this one back too. I don't want to stop for doing that, but and I can always run back over here. But like when we go back in there and I load all up, I'm going to have to flip the flipper and then I'm going to have to come all the way back over here and flip this one so we can go straight. Other than that, we should be good to go. Oh, no, that's right. We're coming over here, so I could flip that one. I need to flip this one so I can go back up to the depot. We're not heading down south quite yet. Yeah, this is about... I'm not too worried about this part. When we start pulling off here, in particular when we get deep in, this loop was not intended for... It was not designed necessarily with 17 cars in mind. Let's just put it that way. I'm a little bit worried. We have a dippy right up here. Yeah, see the way that jerked around? Those little jerk arounds definitely make a big difference when you're... Yeah, that... Well, we're not going to go over it right just yet, so we'll see. See how this goes. The biggest part I'm worried about is all the way over at the end. I think this is reasonably good up through here. Oh, look at that. There we go. That didn't take long, did it? You know, why would those cars fall off, you wonder? After all the other ones made it, you would wonder why. I mean, I wasn't going very fast. I was obviously going almost too slow. And I wasn't watching enough. Just put the brakes on so we... Like I said, redesign is in the future. Yeah, I guess it's just too tight. No, that's not going to work. I didn't really think it was. Yeah, I don't even think it's going to let me. That's no good. I could come up here. I know this one's actually pretty good. This one doesn't have any brake on. There we go. Yeah, so that was not... I wasn't actually even expecting it to fail right there. Right? But we did. So let's flip this one over. We get reattached. Yeah, it's a pretty darn sharp thing. I guess I need to swing. Boy, that's getting into a lot of work, you know? Yeah, I mean, that was tough to get in there as I did. Yeah, so that's all right. We need to redo it, but let's just see how... Let's flip this back over and let's just see how bad it is. I think I'm going to be able to go the rest of the way around and we can fudge our way through this. All right, we got a link here. Let's get the links together so I can just push all three of these together. So we got another link in here. We don't want that one. All right, any link here? Put the link in the back. No link there. No link here, but we got one in that one. Took the link out of there, but we have one in this one. And then we have the brakes on those two cars, so we should be good to see. This is just going to turn into a mess. I have a feeling. Which is all right. I could use some track designing. It's been a lot of train driving, and not that I don't enjoy that as well, but I definitely am finding that I like the track driving, or the track building and the rail design. Why are we just doing this thing again? Come on. Yeah, so that is just too tight of a turn. We'll see if we make it back out. Now, I'm assuming, because, like I said, I wasn't going what I would consider too fast. I'm going to have to remember to flip that switch back on the way out. But I have to go there anyway to do the flipper. Let's give it a little bit of break. You know what? I don't know what the way that other switch could be flipped. I don't want to go too far back. There we go. Right, if I shove it into that other one, it's going to be flipped the wrong way. Have another derailment. Yeah, so could I try to redo that turn? I could do that. Maybe I try to redo that turn with... Let's get this one. There we go. I could try to redo this with the angle tools. Just see if that does a little better. Because if you look, that is off. Do you know what I mean? Like, now again, is this just an area that I did wrong? I would almost be tempted to go back and look at the video when I was working on this stuff and just see, because that definitely looks off compared to what I would normally have accepted. I would have known that was likely to cause a problem. So yeah, we'll definitely have to redo that one. Let's see if we can make it back out. Or if it's just truly a complete fail or not. I have a feeling that we're going to have more heartache here in a minute. But that's showing how we're getting better at the game. I'm sure you guys are progressing if you own it, where you just sort of have a sense for, you just know that track is not designed well enough for large trains. Let's go even a little slower than we were, just for the sake of... I'm trying to keep an eye on things, but also see ahead, but... Yeah, this I think should be pretty reasonable up until that last turn there. Now I did swoop it wider at one point to make it better. Let's just see. Like I said, I'd like to get an idea. Do we have to redo this whole area or not? Or can we get by? Well, this is a little... Now, this would be a normal thing I'd want to do. This is not an extreme, because I'd want to be able to bring these 17 cars in, unload all 100 lumber, right? Get all the lumber done in 2 trips. Again, is that a requirement? No, but yeah, see, this is tight. I'm worried about this. I'm also worried when I go to hit the brakes to slow down to start loading. Well, we made it through that. I mean, so far, I shouldn't say that too loud. All right, let me take the brake off for a second. Pull up to this third tire on my thing, or wheel. All right, that should be in about the right spot to load some, so there you go. If it's just that one thing, we're in pretty good shape. I've got some work cut out for me just loading this thing up. That spotting is not the best, is it? As long as it gets it on the both cars. There we go. All right. Oh, wait, you know what? I'm just counting. These 17 cars are going to do all 100, aren't they? Yeah, because it's 6 times. So, would it be... you know what? Are we... Yeah, 50... Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, 6 times... 6 times 7 is going to be... only 42, right? So... Yeah, really, if we bought... We really would want 19 cars. I don't know. What did I do wrong here? I'm going to do it on a calculator rather than mathing. 102. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, because 42 and then 60. That makes sense. Okay, so good. So, yeah, this will be one trip. That's even better. Yeah, that's definitely... You know, could I live with 2 trips? Obviously, I just said it was 2 trips. I was thinking 3 per car, but no, we're doing it faster. So take a look. We're getting down. We should have a, you know... Oh, we need to go get more logs anyway. Yeah, so there we go. So we need to get logs down here. So that's another whole thing to do. There we go. So we got that. Now the other thing, by the way, I understand that we could just throw these on the ground, but I don't want to do that. It's first of all, it's money, right? I mean, we are going to make some money doing this, and second off, it's just sort of cheaty that you could just throw it on the ground and it disappear. I know it's not. It's certainly an exploit, even if you don't consider it a cheat. Nope, nope, stop. Did I go too far? I don't know. Well, let me get all these loaded up. We'll see if we make it out of here. If it's just that one turn, I don't think that one turn's worth an episode. But again, like I've said, I do want to redesign this, make it a bit nicer with my newer skills. You can even look over there, see how I could just see that train and how steep that turn is. There's no transition in my old work. So let me go ahead and get this whole thing loaded up, and then we'll pull out and we'll see if we make it up to the freight depot. I did a little bit extra. I was inspired to bring down some logs. So what I have here is our full train full. We have 8 cars, bringing 48 logs. Plus we have 99 that we ended up with in the lake here. And let's go over and show you. We got the trains firing up. I just put some more firewood in it since I was driving old Betsy around back and forth. Betsy's definitely feels more powerful than it should be once you drive the other locomotives. But hey, have fun. It's a game, right? Enjoy it however you want. I'm not going to say it's OP, but it is. As far as, again, I've never driven a train back in the 1800s or 1900s, so I don't know really. But 93 lumber, and you can see we got this fully loaded, so that means we've got 100 beams, which is great. So that, if you think about it, the beams is what we need next. But we should be able to get all the beams we need, which is 100, to go down to the oil field. Now, our problem is that we may need some other stuff. We're going to need some lumber to go down to the refinery, but we already have, what, 20? Let me see. If my sheet's right, I have 22 down there already. So the reason for this right here, the reason we're selling this lumber off is because of the imbalance to the coal mine. So pretty much every time you take a bunch of beams up to the coal mine, you might as well just plan on taking this. And this is working out great. 102 of them, you know, so if we can get out of here, you know, let's keep our fingers crossed. Having driven this Betsy around a little bit more, I'm definitely thinking that these tracks have changed a little bit. I think they reworked the splines, and I think that had an effect, but I definitely want to come in here. I was cutting some trees down just for the sake of cutting trees, and I think what I want to do, I do want to make an episode out of making at least some improvements over here to the tracks after we get out of here, I hope. And I'm thinking that at one point, I didn't put this down right now. I had done it like quite a while ago. I think I want to do that, where we bring that turn out a lot more narrow like that, or a lot further wider, that'll make all of these turns a lot smoother, right? It'll be further to run to go flip switches possibly, but it'll actually also give me more room in here to do some of this stuff. And I'm actually thinking of maybe seeing, is there a way that I can get these tracks out of here and make like a loop that's kind of separate a little bit more, so I don't have to have so many switches. But anyway, we're getting into way more kind of planning stuff, and I don't even know what I want to do yet. I haven't even been in here. Let me get my V back a little bit. Good, we got our water temperature up while I was talking. That was part of the purpose. I think I have all the switches thrown. We're going to obviously take it kind of slow going out of here. I don't know. I'm still not convinced. It's actually a day later in real life, even though it's just been a couple seconds for you in between the segments, because by the time I got, that was kind of a couple hours, well, over an hour getting all that wood down here. But that's great, because I think we have enough, well, we do. We have enough lumber. We don't have to get more logs. Even if I have to go get more iron ore and more coal and all that kind of stuff, like if I have to do another 50 of those kind of thing, like I'll have enough logs to do everything we need, I think. And if not, I'll go get more. I'm not trying to make it, too much extra work on myself. All right, I guess I'm going a little bit too extreme, so, but I'm on 17. How do I, do I have brakes on? Let me just think. I don't think I left brakes on. This one should just be like real low, right? Yeah, that's... this one wouldn't be set. It would just be the last one. No, I didn't disconnect. Let's just go check this last one or two. Just feels like it's awful slow. Now, it could be just because I was driving that Betsy around, and Betsy takes off like a bat out of heck. Heck is a code word for another term, but keep it family friendly, right? Yep. See, when you get good, you get better. Now, I wonder if I don't think that would cause us problems. Like, is that one of the reasons maybe that train flipped? But yeah, no, so it wasn't just my Betsy reaction. Yeah, this needs to be fixed. So that's another reason to tear this apart. And then these turns are just so tight that, and I think that this is an important enough, I mean, a lot of stuff needs lumber, so I'm not sure where we'll go from here with the Cook Mogul, if we, depending on how we change up. Will this guy be relegated to this train? He's doing a great job. I mean, I think he could be a very good, especially because you consider this logs or lumber and beams has to go all over the map, and this Cook is a good train for that, right? It's an all-purpose. I think that's why some people like it. Right, let's go a little slower. I'm gonna try to take this at like 10. Get it on 10. Let's do 8. Well, the game is really... graphics is... I didn't really notice it until I started recording, but then if I look at my recording stuff, it doesn't say I'm maxed out, so I don't know why we're... Yeah, see, I've been through here a lot. I haven't derailed, but again, we haven't had so many cars either, so it's sort of... And it is all level until I get past this. Once I get down past this switch, like here, you can kind of, maybe you can see that it drops off. So we shouldn't be, this should all be a very nice area, other than that's kind of tight. And I think we're making it out. I have no idea why those two cars derailed in particular. Yeah, definitely graphically, it's odd what's going on here. I don't know if according to my recording software, I'm not maxing out anything. And I do have the graphics set on a little bit lower. Let's speed up here and see. Now, I think my switches are wrong up there, too, by the way. So. don't think it matters which way we pull in, but whatever way we pull in, I need to flip the switches so we don't go into the where we buy the trains from. I guess we're going to go this way. We'll stop up by where that is. All right, close enough. It's sort of like putting the brakes on full speed when you do that. All right, so now I have to run around. All right, this one's okay. So then let's pull up and then I'll do the other one. So this one's going to need to accept us coming out this way, right? So I don't have to run back down here again. Yeah, but it's going to send us back that way, which is the way I want to go, right? We just want to go back down there because the next thing we need to do is pick up some beams. We'll pick up that other cart, right? The last car, which I probably could have just attached and brought up here, but I guess we've had enough problems. Oops, what am I doing? So I'll go up here, and then I think I'll just pause the video for a minute because I do want to, or do we just finish it here? Maybe I just finish the episode once we pull up here. I'll flip those switches and I'll drive back, and then the next episode is going to be an improve the down there kind of thing. And then we're going to, the next shipping thing we should do is be bringing 18 rail cars. Now, how we're going to handle all of that, I really don't know, because we can only drop off so many beams. And we really should probably drop off the tools and whatnot first, but we're already up here, getting beams. And the only reason I say we should drop off the tools, some tools first, is because we could drop off 100 of those. So that makes a big difference. And then the problem is we can only drop off, 18 steel pipes or 20 beams. So we have to balance out our beam and our whatever dropping off. So I'm not sure, do we take this down there and then park it and then just take off the cars we want? Do we have enough room? We have, kind of big rail siding down there, so I could use that to kind of build a thing. We get the steel pipes that we need to take over right from down there. So we'll see. That's sort of another future thing, but all the logistics that you have to consider, which is fun. It certainly makes it more challenging at that point. There we go. We made it up here. I have no reason to believe we won't make it around this turn. It should be reasonably well done. Let's see. What is the time? Yeah, maybe I'll just... let's get the brake on and overshoot. Let me pause for a minute. I'll flip my switches. I'll unload this train. And then we'll see if we make it back around and down. Because that will be part of the round trip with 18 cars at this point. Let's see, how's our money doing? Look at that, 8,000. So we can even talk about another train and see if something would be good for us. We're starting to make money hand over fist just with this goal, and that was really part of my intention, right? I knew getting 200 barrels of oil would be a lot of work, but it would be rewarding too. We're not even into the high dollar stuff in the sense that we're still dropping off lumber and beams and stuff. All right, well, let me pull this guy forward, get the rest of this unloaded, and then we'll see how it goes. I might make some markers out here. It's getting kind of long. I can't really see. I'm going to be around the corner by the time this thing gets unloaded. All right, I'll see you guys in a few minutes when we're ready to head back down. Now we're fully unloaded. I just ran back up, cut some more trees around this intersection. I didn't flip my switches though, did I? So fortunately this one was the right way. I don't even think I checked that one. I just got lucky, and this one's the right way as well. So we should be good to get right on out of here. Just put some more fire in the box. So let's go take a look. But how did our money go? Look at that, 9,700. So yes, you could throw those on the ground if you're so inclined, but I'll take the buckaroos. It's all part of the fun, right? We're here to deliver stuff, not throw it on the ground. Come on. Is there a reason you're not moving? I know we're on a bit of a hill, but now we have brought some fairly big trains here. I wonder how much the physics changes when you're loaded versus unloaded. If we were to come back up and go, oh, you know what? I didn't flip the flipper, so we're going to have to flip the flipper. Let's see how we make out, though. These turns should be, I think they're going to be okay, at least for this train. You're a little bit tight, I guess. Some of it, to keep yourself from derailing, it's about being smooth, right? As you progress, it definitely seems like you need to be more gentle with the cars. You know, you can't just like slam on the brakes because you'll just derail in certain circumstances. So as you get into longer and longer trains, it's feeling like we're, not that our skill level needs to increase, our care level needs to increase, our awareness of, you know, just slam on the brakes, hit them like 10, 20%, get all the cars bunched up so that like, cause if you hit it at 90, they just come jamming into each other, and I've derailed there before, so now I gotta stop here. Or derail. But there we go. I think we made it through here fine. I think we're in good shape. It's jamming on 40% brakes, right? We're going pretty straight here. Plus, we don't actually have a load, and that'll be the equivalent of jamming it on 100%. But yeah, this is the flipper here. You got to remember the flipper. As a matter of fact, when I was doing those logs down there, I forgot one time and derailed. I wasn't going very fast, but I derailed my locomotive and the train behind it, or the car behind it. I keep missing the F today for some reason. Good. So now if we were going to come back up here for more, we wouldn't have to flip so much, but this is good. I know that we weren't pushing the issue coming up here, as far as I wasn't trying to do anything too crazy, but also just from experience looking at the smoothness of everything and how the train's reacting. You know, I don't think we go through there very fast, but we can go through there with 18 cars. That's pretty good. I mean, I don't know how far I'd want to push it. If nothing else, it starts getting hard to see where you're dropping stuff off at. Are we out of that turn? Yeah, it takes forever just to. By the time you start feeling like by the time we get out of this turn, we're going to be into the next turn. I guess that's the way it is for these guys when they start doing really long trains. You think about it, their trains can be miles long. Not in this case. I think I'm actually, well, you know what, no, I should pull into the yard, or do I just leave it here? Yeah, now, you know what, I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully that's far enough back. Let's slam on the brakes, just like I said we're not supposed to. But again, really, on the straightaways, you can get away with slamming the brakes. But yeah, I think the next thing I'm going to do is start working on this intersection, and I want to be far enough away that it's, because I'm probably going to end up getting into this. It's going to be one of those domino effects. So if you're interested in it, there will be a, let's fix it, the rails, and let's upgrade the rails, mostly over there, but I think it's going to get into this, and then there's part of me that wants to be able to go this way. I don't know that that's really necessary. It's just been, you know, again, let's just see how many switches I can fit in. It's not my intention to just tear everything apart. But if we're going to redo that, it's going to change, excuse me, the way this is, right? So I'm going to end up changing this turn because I'm going to end up changing up there. So if you're not interested in the rebuilding of things, then that's fine. You can skip the next ones. And then eventually we'll come up with, we're still going to get 200 barrels of oil. The viewership and I think the interest in the game is generally decreasing. I think if you look at the view counts, they're less, but there's still some of you here, and I really do. It's not about having a million viewers with me. It's about people enjoying ourselves playing games. And so I truly thank you, and I do appreciate I've gotten some very nice comments, about you guys liking the videos, and that really that means the world to me. That's why I'm doing it. It's because other people are enjoying. We're all playing the same game in a lot of cases, or you're just enjoying watching it. So thank you very much. Definitely appreciate it. And in the next, I'm going to start getting into tearing this apart right now in real life. The rest of you will have to wait until tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a wonderful day and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.